Hello and welcome to Tell Me Are You Entertained? Or Tell Me RUNE, as we like to call ourselves. Number 2, I'm your co-host Andrew.
And I'm your other co-host Leilani.
And we got some music this time on this episode. We talk about the big three, music, television, and movies. This time we're actually talking about all three. So, Leilani, you got the music portion.
And I'll just kick this off. Not much of news per se for music right about now, but kind of a major thing is Journey getting inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And they're actually, not to say that they're not allowing him, but Steve Perry's actually going to be showing up with Journey along with the other singer. I don't know his name because I really don't care. So
Wow, this guy is like filling in for...
It's big shoes to fill, and, good for him, but no.
And he's rocking it. I saw him in concert.
That's not Journey. That's not Journey.
It is.
No.
It's like not. 90% of Journey.
Okay, yeah. No, well, Steve Perry took up probably about 60-70% of Journey.
No, that's not how it works.
That's how it works.
It's one guy. There's like 10 guys.
Doesn't matter. He can have a backup band. All he wants is the voice. He's the voice.
That is true.
Yeah.
But I was surprised to hear, I wasn't surprised about them letting Steve Perry come or letting Steve
There's
Perry.
There's no allowing, though. It's Steve Perry. He's just going to show up. Just like, I think when they get the star on the Walk of Fame, supposedly he wasn't invited to that. There was rumors about that, and then he just showed up.
I mean, at least he was there.
Oh, yeah,
he put bricks down to build this empire that is Journey. But what got me about this news was they weren't already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like they stopped making new music a long time ago, as they should. I mean, you don't really need to make new music when you're legendary already.
I thought they were making new music with the new guy.
I didn't hear any new music. I heard when I went to see him in concert, they just played the nice, awesome songs.
Yeah.
And it was like a solid hour and a half of just straight Journey that you would want to hear.
Okay.
But, I mean, that's what I didn't understand. Why aren't they in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already?
Yeah, because I know we were talking about this earlier, and you said something about, what would be
the criteria?
Yes. I was like, critiques. I'm like, that's not the C word I need.
No,
yeah,
we'll talk about those later. But,
okay.
But no, what's the criteria? Because I know in football, in NFL, a player has to stop playing, he has to retire, and then 5 years has to allot. And then they allow him to be on the ballot to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, but I don't know what the rock and roll one is.
Okay, it says because I looked this up because I didn't know either. It says artists become eligible for induction 25 years after the release of their first record. Criteria include the influence and significance of the artist's contributions to development and I'm not going to try to butcher that word of rock and roll. So, yeah.
Okay,
So that makes sense, why others would be in the...
But then again, there's, a lot of bands that aren't. I heard Iron Maiden's not in there. And
they have a big influence.
They had a huge influence,
yeah.
And, I mean, they've been around forever.
Yeah.
Way, way longer than 25 years, but, I mean... I don't know. I better late than never, I say, in this situation.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But, I mean, I'm glad Steve Perry's there, and he's going to be there, because, I mean, he laid all the groundwork for all this. I don't know what Steve Allgary did, and, I don't know what songs he was pioneering on, but, I mean, when I think of Journey, I think of Steve Perry.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
And I also think of Don't Stop Believing.
As everybody does now.
Yeah, Separate Ways?
Yes.
Is that the one? Is that the one from Yes Man?
Yes. Oh my god, when he has the ring, I had that as my ringtone forever.
Ringtone? Yeah, yes. Yeah. I didn't know that was Journey until after that song. After that movie came out.
Oh Lord.
Well, I don't worry about now. I got the essential Journey now, and I know all of their songs. It took me a while to get through the first CD. There's 3 CDs of 24 songs each.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It was $10 though at Best Buy.
Really?
Yeah, they come out with those essential albums now. Mm-hmm. They just throw all the good songs on there, and you're just like, yeah, this is what I want.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Way better than the Ice Cube greatest hits I got. The Essential Ice Cube. It has 9 songs, And I'm just like, wow. And it was like $3. And I was just like, oh, well, all I know is today was a good day. So I'm going to keep replaying that song.
Wow. I was actually going to ask you about that CD, but now that I know about it, no.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
Oh.
There was a DMX one.
That I would probably buy.
It's like 9 songs.
That's it?
Yeah, there's only 9 songs on these essential like Best Buy albums.
There's more than that. Jeez.
Anyways.
But the bottom line, Steve Perry's going to be at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because it was questionable if he was, just because of his recluseness with not being at a lot of things and being kind of apart from the band for so long. So
right.
I'm just happy that he actually said he's going to be there.
And you said there was controversy why he left the band.
Yeah, there's so many different rumors, and then I read an article finally, and Steve Perry himself said that he even stepped back from the band because of his health issues with his hip, and then he was just burnt out, bottom line, because with touring, with how much they toured, especially back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Those tour stops probably was heinous.
And when you're in a band like Journey, pumping out all those hits, like,
right?
Even the Eagles had to be like, oh, we're going to take a break from each other right now, because we're just like, they were together all the time. And then they still made great songs away from each other, and then they came back and killed it when they got back together. I watched a 3-hour documentary on the Eagles.
I was going to say, how come you know so much about the Eagles?
I came into my uncle's house one time from college, and he was like, oh, I taped an Eagles documentary. And I was like, oh, I like documentaries. 3 hours later, I knew everything about the Eagles.
What do you know about them?
They're amazing. Every time Hotel California is on.
That's a blare it.
Oh my gosh. Every time. Blare it through the speakers and my mouth. But...
Phrasing.
But, yeah, I heard he left the band because he had vertigo.
See, I tried to get into that, but he didn't say anything about that. And then...
Maybe it was a different thing. And
then another rumor that I heard is because after his mom passed away, he just wasn't the same.
So. Understandably.
Oh, yeah. That's a huge reason.
Yeah.
If that was.
But hey, better late than never, again, I say. So congratulations, Steve Perry, and the rest of Journey. You're just the rest of Journey.
I like how you phrase that.
Like, we know Steve Perry.
Yeah.
And then we know Journey. It's like Paul McCartney and the Wings. Like, that's it. It's just Paul McCartney and the Wings, or Tom Petty and the Heartbreaks.
That is true.
Like, you just know them as, and Gladys Knight and the Pips. You just know Pips.
No, I agree.
Yeah. So.
Steve Perry and the Journey.
Yeah, and the Journey. Steve Perry's Journey. Like, that's what it should be called. But then he left, and then it would have been just Journey.
Yeah.
It could have worked out.
Yeah.
Anyways, from the band that was iconic and unique, we should just go straight into another very unique and iconic figure in his own field. That's right, Stephen King. We're going to talk about Stephen King, but we're not going to talk about books because that's not one of the big 3. But we're going to be talking about a new trailer that came out for a reboot of his movie. That looks, to me, excitingly, I'm super ecstatic about it. You, not so much.
It's horrifying. No. I grew up on the TV movie as a kid at a slumber party, watched it, because we thought Jonathan Brandis was the cutest thing. Watched it, and I was like, why did we rent this again? Because I need to go home. I'm freaking out. And ever since then, Tim Curry has haunted my dreams as a clown. I can't do it.
If you couldn't pick up on those clues, we're going to be talking about it. So, we both watched the TV movie.
Yes.
Back in the day. I'm not going to lie.
You watched it when you were older, though.
I watched it in college.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It was super boring. It was like 900 minutes. Like, it was long. It was long.
Wasn't it? I don't know how it broke down on TV, like, when it aired. Because I remember renting it at Blockbuster, and that's how we watched it.
Yeah, I bought it on DVD.
There you go.
Almost worst decision of my life. Except it's kept scaring my sister every time she saw it in the bookshelf.
Oh, yeah.
And she would always turn it over, and then when she left the room, I would turn it back.
Ew.
Just because.
Oh, that's horrible.
Siblings. Anyways. Yeah, Stephen King, that new trailer looks amazing. I love that trailer.
I mean, yes, compared to the trailer back in the day because I saw the side by side one, and you have too, right?
Yeah, and that made me love the trailer even more.
That it's basically identical, but they stepped it up a notch, which I can
and modernized it a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of the book flipping for the picture book, it was actually a slide reel.
Yeah, it's like a slide projector kind of thing.
That was cool.
Which even it's a little outdated now, but I mean, it's still gonna freak you out a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been weird to have, like, the kids looking at a cell phone of pictures, and then it's changing constantly. It just doesn't work, so you have to go to a certain boundary.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, oh my gosh. You know me, I'm not into reboots. Like, not even a little bit. Like, I'm just like, why not just make something new and creative? Mm-hmm. Or even if you get inspiration from a story, just put a different name on it and try to change it as much as you can. But, I mean, this one I'm super ecstatic about.
Well, this one, I mean, again, it's the TV movie is classic, but, I mean, if they had to redo a Stephen King, TV film, per se, that I think they would redo that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's breaking, you sent me a link saying it was breaking, like, numbers online for how much it's been, like, seen. It's, like, been seen, like, 1.7 million times in, like, 24 hours or something. Like, it's just reeling in everybody.
Yeah, because, I mean, especially for those who've never heard of it, and then they're like, okay, so horror film, what is this? It's just, it was really well done just kept it classic with the trailer. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And it's just, oh my gosh. It finally looks scary.
Yeah, because when they actually showed, was it Sarsgaard? It's one of the Sarsgaard's brothers.
Yeah, the smaller one.
Yeah. He was in one of the Divergents, one of the last ones. I remember that.
Never seen it.
But, don't. The first one's fine, the rest's horrible.
I'm not going to see it anyways. Yeah. Shailene Woodley, you know what you did.
The books are good, supposedly. The books are really good.
I'm not going to read them.
Okay.
I'm reading the Baudelaire Children right now. Lemony Snicket.
Oh, okay.
I'm reading the Lemony Snicket right now. That's all I can handle. It's nice 70 pages on PDF format.
See, I can't read books off of that. I have to have an actual book.
I mean,
I'm old school.
I mean, I'm very similar in the same way until I look at the price of how much I would have to pay for all 13 books in a complete series, and I'm like, maybe I'll read them first, and then maybe I'll go buy them later.
Okay. I do the exact same thing with CDs now.
Because
before I would go out buy the CD, I'm like, this is crap. I don't like this one song.
Yeah.
So, but back to it. Yeah, because when they showed the clown, I was like, wait, he looks really like Victorian looking clothes, like outfit. I'm like, how does this correspond into?
I think they were going more for a classic look of clown.
Okay.
I mean, I think Tim Curry's clown looked good.
Yeah.
I just don't think it was the clown that they wanted to portray in, like, a jumpsuit, like a big, like a vacuum, like, not vacuum, parachute pants.
Vacuum.
Parachute pants. Like, he had, like, the long baggy onesie.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to go for a little bit more, like, this is going to haunt your nightmares.
Which it has.
Kind of thing.
Yes. Just from the trailer.
Which, I mean, I feel like they're finally getting a Stephen King adaptation right. Like, I've watched, like, because, I mean, people read his books. He has, he's very descriptive in his writings and stuff, and I think people want to adapt it to the film, so people that wouldn't normally read the books, because, I mean, he writes the dictionary. Have you seen 9/22 1962?
No, I haven't seen that.
The book?
Yeah.
Have you seen the book size? It's huge.
Oh.
Like, he puts a lot of detail, a lot of history in it. Like, I think he just puts a lot into it. And people who wouldn't normally read it, they can watch it now. Starring James Franco on Hulu. Which is actually really good, by the way. I know you don't.
Yeah, I don't like Franco.
And I agree with you. I mean, sometimes he can get really crazy, but he's really centered.
Might give it a chance, at least.
But, I mean, with that, you make so many books, and so many directors are like, oh, I want the rights to Misery, I want the rights to Carrie, I want this, I want that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, and just directors get their hands on it, and then you get, like, Oh, you get good movies like Misery. Misery was a really good adaptation.
It's so good.
I like The Shining. I mean, it's
Oh,
got a
yeah.
lot of inconsistencies with the book,
Mhm.
but who said a movie has to? I feel like they could be two different entities, and you can enjoy them both. That's what I think. The same thing happened with Fight Club. I like both the book and the movie, but both are very different in some aspects, especially the ending, and they were both really good. But then you get like really terrible adaptations like The Langoliers, or uh, really anything else. I didn't like the first Carrie
I
at all.
like that one. I mean, I haven't read the book or anything like that, but I mean, I like the movie.
I like the story behind Carrie,
Mhm.
about how he threw it away, and his wife picked it up out of the trash and started reading it, and she was like, "Oh, this is really good. You should work on this part and this part." And then he started writing it again, and that was the first book he got published.
Nice.
So, score for you, Mrs. King.
Is that why you like her?
Yes, and she's super supportive. Like, if I got a partner, I would want them to be like her. Just be like, yeah, you can do it. Just set your mind to it. I'll read I mean, she reads all of his books.
Okay, that's cool.
Like he says he writes for her.
Oh.
Like he's like, I write for my ideal reader, and that's my wife. So if I can get her thumbs up, it's gonna be golden. So, like, good on you. Like, that's super nice. That's super awesome.
That's super nice.
That's super nice and super awesome. But finally, I think he's getting his dues with this It.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I follow him on Facebook, and he was promoting the hell out of it.
Well, he had an interview, and he said that he was scared from this.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, this scared me. Like, this is... And he's like giving it all. Like, he was like giving all his praise to it, and he was like, this is gonna get you guys. This is gonna get you.
Yeah, that's why I don't...
If that's coming from him...
Yeah, exactly.
Then the movie theater is getting all my money. If they do it right, I'm gonna go see this more than I saw Get Out in theaters, which was twice.
I was like, that's not that many. I thought you saw La La Land more.
I saw La La Land twice.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But yeah, I'm super excited for it. I was super depressed when you told me it was coming out in September.
Yeah, I thought you knew.
I wanted it to come out in the summer.
Well,
it just seems like a summer movie.
No, I mean, if you really want to get more bucks from it, closer to Halloween.
But all the kids are on... But the kids in the movie seem like they're on summer, right?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I have to watch it again.
I'm very... Like, this trailer is making me consider reading the book.
You should.
And since you said it was coming out in September, I'm this close. But, like... And it's minuscule. My fingers were small when I said this close. Just to let you know on the podcast. But I have a problem finishing big books.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what's the biggest book that you read?
I can't even remember. That's how far back I haven't read it. But I started reading The Shining, to bring up Stephen King, stay on topic. I bought The Shining like 4 years ago. And I liked it because it was the pink cover and all that other stuff.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I'll look very studious if I have a big book like Stephen King just in my bookshelf. So finally I decided to try to read it.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting in a good groove. Everything was cool. The beginning's kind of boring because they want you to lull you in. He wants to lull you into what every character is thinking, what's going on with everybody. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. This is really good. Right when Jack Nicholson's character was going to start going crazy, I just stopped reading the book.
Why?
Like the point where everybody wants to get to, I just stopped reading for some reason. Like my mind's just like, oh well, I like all the build up. I don't really want to know what happens in the scary part.
That's horrible. Why would you do that?
I know. I need to pick it back up.
Yeah,
it's right on my bookshelf over there, like with the pink.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, so it's very upsetting. I really should pick it back up, but it's like 700 pages, and I know it's like it's a lot of pages.
it's a lot of pages.
Yeah, if you want to look it up real quick.
What? How many?
I'm gonna say 1,500 at least. I'm gonna say 1,500 pages is it. It's super thick. I had an ex-girlfriend say it was. She started reading it and she was just like, she said she couldn't get through it all. That's why we bought the movie. She made me buy the movie.
Holy crap! 1,138.
Yeah, well, that was close.
So The Shining's only 659.
Depends on which book you get.
Oh, okay. Misery is only 320.
Oh, that's a short story to him.
Oh, oh my god!
I bought a short story book from him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, nothing. Stephen King does not know what brevity means because they're like 100 pages for short stories, and I'm like, this isn't short, Stephen. like if we were in a class and I was your teacher and I said, hey, write a short story, 1,000 words, he would give me 1,000 pages, and I would be like, no, stop, no, you failed. But he's an inspiration to me.
Oh, that's cool though.
I think what helped me get into him was Goosebumps, though. Like as a kid watching Goosebumps on like Disney XD or whatever, like watching Goosebumps every afternoon. Just like you get into scary stuff and you're just like in your mind you're like, this is amazing. And Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes.
That was another one.
I used to watch that all the time.
Oh my gosh. Me and my friend in high school, we watched an episode on Google because we found a full episode. We're like, oh, we're gonna watch this. And we turned all the lights out and we watched it. By the end of it, we were in high school, mind you. At the end of it, I was just like, all right, I think we should go to bed. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, and we just took off and we ran down the hallway and like closed the door. We're like, oh my gosh. But nowadays, no kids have that.
No, oh, the shows nowadays, this is horrible.
No, let's not get into it. I feel like that's another
That's
point.
A huge other topic we can get into some other day.
Yeah. What was your... So have you read any of Stephen King's books?
No, I have some of his books. I just never read it.
It's okay.
So I'm the female version of what I feel as though probably his counterpart is Anne Rice. That's my girl. She is as detailed as him, where it takes like 5 chapters to talk about a house, like the moss or whatever growing on the house. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Rice, you're killing me. Yeah. So, but yeah. So unfortunately, I haven't read his. And
there's something to it because I hate being too descriptive in any book until you get to Stephen King and you're like, oh, it's for a purpose. Like I don't know why. I'm just like, oh, there's a payoff at the end. Like when you're just like reading Lord Jim, which I had to read in 9th grade. They just, or I'll do a more timely reference. Moby Dick from Herman Melville, and that one chapter on whales, and you're just like, I don't care. But for some reason, Stephen King, you're just like, okay. I'm like, okay, I'll sit down. What does this cathedral look like? Oh, it looks like that. 20 pages later.
Oh my god. No, but I feel you. That's how I am with Anne Rice. So.
But you've seen some of his movies, right? Besides it.
Yeah, the Langoliers. I remember. I tried to stay up as a kid watching that, and then I didn't understand it. I just remember they looked like milk duds with teeth. Yeah. Coming around everywhere. And Balky from Perfect Strangers is in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in it.
I didn't know that.
He was a horrible, horrible person.
Yeah, one time, me, my friend from high school, Ramon, and my mom were all just, like, we woke up and we sat down on the couch and she was watching it. Like, not it, but Langoliers. Oh, yeah. And she was just like, oh, this is a movie from Stephen King. And I was like, oh, I've never heard of it. And it was broken up into 3-hour parts. And so the part 1 was ending and then part 2 was happening. And I was like, what is going on? And she was just like, well, I watched the first 3 hours. I gotta watch the last 3 hours. And that Langoliers movie was so bad. At one point, the person's just like, one of the guys is like, oh yeah, they have the most terrifying sound in all of mankind. And then like 20 minutes later, the kid's like, it sounds like Rice Krispie treats. Rice Krispies when you pour milk in it. I'm like, really? Like, is it terrible, or does that guy really hate Rice Krispie treats that much? But I thought that one was terrible.
Well, I have to say that the one movie that I did really, really like, that I haven't read the books, but the book for it, but a friend's mom said that she thought it was a good adaptation, was The Mist.
Oh, okay.
Have you watched The Mist?
Never seen The Mist.
Oh my god, that is so good.
Never seen The Mist.
It's really, really good. I recommend it.
I think the ending was spoiled for me.
Why does that not surprise me with you?
It was weird how it was spoiled for me. Like, I think this guy that hated me decided to just spoil it. And he was just like, oh, have you seen The Mist? And I told him no. And he was like, oh, well, what happens at the end? And I'm just like...
No. It probably didn't hate you. My friend Aaron does that.
No, he probably hated me because I was dating his ex-girlfriend at the time.
He hated
and
you.
we were hanging out.
Yeah,
and he was just like... She went to the bathroom, so it was like that weird, like we were standing there together, like... So, what do we have in common that's not her? Like...
That's a lot of tension.
It wasn't. He was a nice guy.
Oh.
He was a nice guy.
He told you the ending.
Yeah, he told me the ending. But I think he may have been like, oh, do you mind? And I was just like, I don't care. Like, I think that's how the conversation went, word for word, but it is what it is. But, yeah, I mean, I'll watch it, but I haven't seen it. Wasn't there 2 Mists?
I don't know.
I feel like there was 2 Mists.
I just know the one that was the recent one.
There was also The Fog, right?
That was it. That was another one. Okay. But that's not the one. I'm talking about The Mist.
I like how in this conversation, when we say that's it,
like,
we have to preference, that's not it, the clown.
We're not talking about the clown right now. But...
And also, how genius is that title, by the way? Just it. 2-letter word. And it's instantly like, oh, if you say it now, with this trailer, if you say it, people will automatically think of the clown now. And that's insanely awesome, in my opinion.
It is, but then, again, I have another horrifying notion that hopefully it does not spark the whole clown epidemic again, where people dress like clowns and we just stand in the middle of the road in the dark.
Well, that already happened.
I know.
The announcement of this movie coming out.
Exactly.
So the remake.
At first I was like, is this a marketing ploy? Because that's genius. But no, it's just idiot people dressing up as clowns and terrorizing kids in the woods. So...
I mean, people are going to do what they're going to do.
No, not with that.
They're going to do what they're going to do. Just let it happen.
Horrible.
Just, if they're going to stay in the middle of the road... Like, if there's gonna be somebody that's gonna hit them with the car. I
would run them over, like, and back up.
And you can't, and they can't be like, oh, he ran me over. Like, there's no excuse. You were in the middle of the road dressed as a clown.
Exactly.
Like, trying to freak people out. Like...
I mean, you're gonna die.
And nowadays, people are on the edge, no matter what. Like, they're already skeptical of other people just walking in the street. On the sidewalk, dressed as normal people. Like, if you're a clown just walking around, like... You're gonna get something.
Yeah, you're a target.
That you don't want. Like, you do not want to get whatever they're getting. But yeah, I watched The Shining. I thought Shining was really good.
Oh, that's
when
amazing.
You have Jack Nicholson, though, like, and Stanley Kubrick, I mean, how can you go wrong?
Yeah.
Realistically. Especially with the book. With reading the book, you get a little bit more in-depth into the characters, just because... You can't really put 700 pages into one movie.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, and plus a lot of the dialogue and narrative is just like, oh, this is what Jack's thinking while he's, like, chewing on Excedrin, trying to call up the person and doing all this other stuff. Like, you don't see all that. Like, Jack Nicholson has to portray that outward in all of his things. And, I mean, he does a great job. You just don't know all the emotions that happen in every little thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought The Shining was good. Misery. I love Misery.
So good.
Super good. Kathy Bates is amazing. James Caan is great. I remember watching that alone in my room at one point, and I'm just like, this is great. I mean, just the imaginative of this guy just, like, of getting caught. And then being... captured by this super fan of this book, and then she just, like, write a better ending. Like, and then breaking his leg again. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes you got to do some stuff to get things done. She knows how to get it done.
Yeah, Kathy Bates knows how to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but then there's been a lot of spark of bad remakes.
Like?
Just because you get a whole bunch of movies out there, just bad remakes. I don't. How am I supposed to know all of his movies?
You're on a roll, so I was just asking.
I mean, I think Laying Laniers is bad, but what about you? Can you think of any bad Stephen King movies?
Well, Google's about to tell me that.
I mean, but I don't know.
That one I have no idea.
Shawshank Redemption. That's a great one.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
I always forget that's a Stephen King movie.
Green Mile.
Green Mile's good.
That is beautiful. I haven't read the book, but I know it. They said that with that movie, it's basically almost by the book to the T.
Yeah.
So that movie, crier every time.
Yeah, that one's good. Have you heard the story about Stephen King and the woman in the grocery store?
Wait, what?
There's a story about Stephen King. He was at a grocery store, so I don't even know if it's true or not. Because does he get his own groceries? Probably. But he was in the grocery store, and this woman walked up to him and knew he was Stephen King, and she goes, you write those bad books, and I don't like any of the books you write. And he goes, oh really? What's your favorite book? And she goes, Shawshank Redemption. And he goes, hey, I wrote that one. And she goes, no, you didn't. And then just walks away from him. And he was pissed. And he was just like, okay, just know, I did write that one.
Wow. Well, there's certain, because you have this premise of him of how he writes.
Yeah.
And then you go to something like Shawshank or Green Mile, and it's totally kind of out of that range. So you don't believe that it's really him. Ooh, but did you ever watch Creepshow?
No, okay. I haven't seen it, but it was on Netflix for a while, and I was like, I need to watch that. But I didn't watch that. 1408 wasn't bad, but it wasn't good, in my opinion. With John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's alright. It's more creepy than anything, but I don't know. It wasn't necessarily that great. I gotta watch Christine, though.
I haven't watched that forever.
I need to watch it because I'm a huge John Carpenter fan, and it was on my list of stuff to read, and Christine was one of them. I just haven't gotten around to it, because, yeah. Secret Window.
Wait, that was...
That was a short story, and they made it into
Holy crap. That, okay, I mean, I don't know how the short story went, but that was kind of for me.
That was super and I can tell you why.
Why?
Because people in college, we lived in a pod, which is just a living area that's in the middle of like a whole bunch of dorm rooms put together. So everybody was like, oh, we need to watch a movie. We want to watch a movie, but we don't know what movie to watch. And I just suggested, hey, let's watch The Secret Window. It has Johnny Depp in it. And they're like, okay, we'll try it. And we were like watching it, and then just like not even halfway through the movie, people were making comments about it, and they were just like, what's going on? This stinks. Who's the real killer? Is that guy even really there? And all this other stuff. And then the breaking point was when Johnny Depp was walking around his cabin, and you just see the dog with the screwdriver in its neck, and people were like, why would you show this to us? Like, they were yelling at me, and I was like, I just suggested the movie, and she's like, they're just like, no, and then finally one guy just like looked up the ending, and he's like, hey, everybody, Johnny Depp is, the one guy's not even there, John Turturro.
Yeah. Is
not even there. Johnny Depp it's in his mind. He kills his wife at the end and throws him in, spoiler alert, kills it.
I was like, how far are you going with this?
He kills his wife and puts him in the cornfield, and I'm just like, well, and then everybody was just like, turn it off. And I'm like, all right, I guess we're turning it off. Like, sorry, everybody. I suggested a movie and you went with it. Like,
as soon as an animal dies, and that's when everybody doesn't want to watch the movie.
We watch Orca the Killer Whale, but you watch Secret Window and everybody loses their minds.
But I just wanted to bring up at least one that I'm kind of excited to see, just because I need to read the book. Amber told me about it. Oh, my friend Amber. It's called Gerald's Game. It's very, very adult themed compared to some of his other books.
Are we still talking about Stephen King?
Yes.
And his adult books?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot he made kiddie books.
Well, okay, it's basically...
Yes, Pet Sematary was super cuddly.
Well, the sexual content, because it's about a couple who's into bondage, and they go into a cabin to private time, and... I don't know if I should tell this one part, because...
Probably not.
Okay, so anyways, but...
This is a 50 Shades of Grey podcast.
No, some creepy crap happens, and it's very, very vivid with some of the nature of the book.
Okay.
So, but it seems really good, though.
Well, have you seen the adaptation to Good Marriage?
No.
It was a short story, and it's now on Netflix. It's not on Netflix. It's on a different thing.
Good Marriage.
But it's basically this husband like is always out of town, and he leaves, and the wife is like walking around like the house and stuff, and like goes into the garage, and she like stumbles on what he likes to do in his free time, and she gets into a little bit of trouble with him because she uncovers his new hobby. What, photography room?
No, it's a dark room.
Oh, yeah, photography room. No, he's just living a double life. Like what he says he's out doing for work.
Wait, why do I know this now?
Because it was a short story.
No. I meant like, I know the premise of this.
Yeah.
I probably was told this.
Probably. But...
Sorry, go ahead.
But no, that's kind of along the same lines. But he puts a lot of sexual stuff in some books,
yeah,
too.
because I've heard some people upset because he puts, like, I think there were some rape scenes in some books. And they're
really?
like, why? Well, I know with Gerald's Game, it's very explicit.
Alright, well. Okay.
So, but it's a good book nonetheless.
Okay.
You're making a face now.
Okay. Well, when you say all that, and then you're like, but it's a good book.
It is. I mean, from what Amber told me, because every time she would read like a couple chapters, she would tell me about it because she was so excited, and so the concept of it it's good despite those certain aspects.
Okay. I mean, I can get along with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just super inspirational. But I'm super excited for it. I love, if you haven't seen the trailer, go watch the trailer. If you want to see them side by side and even love it even more, I would suggest that, because I was super excited once I saw the one trailer and then put it to the 1990 trailer. I was like, yes, we need this in our lives. I don't want any other remakes, though. Like, I don't want any more remakes.
So no more chips or anything like that?
Oh my gosh, enough with chips. You know what I'm having enough of?
What?
Is critics. And how wrong they are. So let's get into that topic. That was a good transition until I just was like, let's talk about that.
So you're talking about like professional critics then?
Professional critics. In the last week and a half, critics have been under fire from the audience about just being extremely harsh on some of their critiques. And it's like, doesn't even make any sense, some of the ones. Like Iron Fist. I started watching Iron Fist, and I was like, oh, cool. I want to know who plays the main guy or whatever, because I don't like to watch all the ending, like, credits and whatnot. So I go on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 17%.
Jeez.
I decided to look up all the other counterparts to the Defenders, because they're making a Defenders Marvel for Netflix. Daredevil gets a total out of its 2 seasons, has an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, season 2. Lower. Felicity Jones?
No.
Jessica Jones?
Yes.
Jessica Jones.
Felicity.
Jessica Jones has a 8%. Like, it's super high. It's like 96 or 98. And then Luke Cage gets a 93%. So all these have knocked it out of the park until you get to Iron Fist, who just completely bombed for some... Like, how? How do you knock it out of the park 3 times in a row, and then Iron Fist, you just, you dropped the ball. I don't think it's real. Like,
well, I know you're more of an expert than me because you watched all of them. Because I watched a little bit of Daredevil and then a little bit of Luke Cage. I didn't see Jessica Jones, but I know you didn't like it.
I didn't. Just all the shows get boring at certain points.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just, I don't know, they just get boring. Like Daredevil got boring once. I don't know how to explain it. It's just certain times I'm just like Luke Cage. Luke Cage is after episode 5,
mm-hmm.
he like beats somebody up and saves this one girl, and then it feels like it's just an ending to a season. But then you look out and you got like another like 10 episodes to go through, and I'm just like, what do we have to do with these 10 episodes? I'm already tired from the 5. And then they have to ramp up again. So it goes like in a mountain kind of thing where it goes up, it peaks at this one, he does the resolution, and now they're trying to get up on another slant to get back up into season 2, and I'm just like, oh, I'm getting kind of tired of this. But I watch Iron Fist. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that boring. I haven't got bored with it yet. But then again, Netflix just came out with 13 Reasons Why, so...
Which I keep seeing that everywhere. Everybody keeps saying that they love it.
Yeah, I love it too. And then I stopped watching it. But I'm going to get back onto it. Anyways, some of the critics... I read some of the reviews for the critics, and some of the critics are like, oh, Iron Fist is a white guy, and he tells... Colleen, a Korean descent owner of a dojo person, had to find her inner like strength and force.
Oh, so okay, so racial.
Yeah, and then I guess some people are saying, oh, with the way this is set up, because there's not a whole lot of diversity in the Defenders, they could have changed out the white character and put in a more Asian character. And to me it's like I don't know, I think it's a little forced to be saying, oh, it stinks because of those 2 reasons.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that just their basis of why they don't like it?
A lot of people say it's Snorefest, it's boring, it doesn't have a point, like nothing really critiquing to like be enough substantial evidence in my book. But I mean, I don't know. It just it blows me out of the water to be like, okay, I could see maybe 70%. Yeah. Like, this is the 4th go around. It does remind you a lot of Arrow from the CW. Rich white kid gets lost after a plane crash, comes back. Has a whole bunch of millions, and he's gonna go fight crime in the city. Like, if you didn't know I was talking about Iron Fist, you would think I'd be talking about Arrow. And I totally get that. Just put it at 70 and say it's a retelling of Arrow, but Marvel, and we're going to see it later. And instead of arrows, he has a glowing fist. But, I mean, instead, they give it 17%, which then in turn makes the audience overhype it, and now it has like a 90-something% with audience viewers because they want to offset the critic scores, which is wrong in itself too. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. It just critics. I think they lose their sense of what's good and what's not after a time being. It's just like they try to nitpick everything out of something, or they just focus on that one thing and then it's bad. I'm like, but it's the overall. It's yeah. So I don't know. I never go by critics anyways. I go see the movie to see it, open minded, and if I don't like it, I don't like it.
I mean, same here. I mean, unless we're sitting down to watch a movie and we don't know anything about the movie, I'll look it up on Rotten Tomatoes and be like, oh, it got a 16%. Maybe we should go with Plan B at that time.
See, and that's the thing. I don't like basing off of somebody. If it's like a friend, close friend, and I know their taste, if they're good or not, then then I go off of that. But if like Rotten Tomatoes tells me, okay, it's a 17%, I don't know. I probably will be like the majority. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm definitely going to see it because why is it so bad? Right,
but I don't know. Just with movies that you don't know anybody in it, and like if I know like, oh, like Casey Affleck's going to be in this one movie, oh, but it got 13%, I'll still give it a try, and if it sucks, I'll turn it off. But if it has nobody in it that I know of, and it doesn't have a real good producer or director in it, and it's like 2 hours long. It's like, I'm not going to waste my time on a 6% movie on Rotten Tomatoes when I could maybe see another one that I've been putting off for a while.
Okay, I get your point with that.
But normally I don't go. Like, I won't go. Like, on movies, I'll see who's in it, and I'll just be like, oh, I definitely want to see that. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care what the critics say. They could give it a -40, and I'll be like, oh, but I still want to see it because the trailer was good.
Yeah.
I mean, similar stuff happened with Suicide Squad.
I was going to say, are you going to bring Suicide Squad up?
It's hard not to when you're bringing up trailers and then the finished product.
Yeah.
But even that was brought up because Batman v Superman...
Oh, God.
Critically panned, yet it made over $800 million. Granted, Warner Brothers thought it could make $1 billion at least, but it made $800 million. Mm. So what does it mean for a movie to be successful in that sense then?
I think because when you have like classic characters like that, everybody's going to see it no matter what. And especially if you have reviews that are iffy, like some people say it's bad, some people say it's good. And especially the fact that it's Affleck portraying Batman for the first time after Bale. So people probably really wanted to see how is he going to be with Batman.
There's so many people hyping him up too.
Yeah.
Like if you followed Kevin Smith, like he would,
of course, Kevin Smith.
He would like leak out pictures of the Batsuit, the Batmobile, and all this other stuff, and you have like. And can I just say something real quick? Kevin Smith just likes anything superhero. Like, anything. Like, he just is like... And granted, you can like what you like. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, anything superhero can't do anything wrong in his book. So I feel like he's a little bit swayed in a sense.
Well, if I play devil's advocate, I mean, if that was my friend, and no matter if they were horrible in something, I would still hype it up.
Oh, I mean other things than... Batman v Superman.
Like what?
I mean, he just likes anything.
Anything. Oh, didn't you bring up something about Supergirl one time? Mm.
Oh, but he's getting paid by them. I feel like he should. He's directed over, I think, 2 episodes at least.
Oh, okay, well, yeah.
And he's directed 2 episodes of The Flash. So.
See, I didn't know that.
So he's getting paid by them now. So I feel like he has to say it, but I'm sure he likes it anyways.
Oh yeah. Especially at Comic-Con when he nerds out about everything there.
Oh, he got to host the panel for it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So he was like, oh.
Because I saw him when he hosted the Preacher panel.
And so I didn't know that. I thought Chris Hardwick could do that since he's like AMC's poster boy for all things like...
Yeah, Chris Hardwick does do other stuff, but I mean he does majority of Comic-Con, bottom line. And then you have Conan who now steps in. But yeah... Kevin Smith, he was a really diehard Preacher fan, so he really wanted to do that. I need
to get back in that show.
So good. The ending was awesome.
I read the comics.
Oh, really?
I read a lot of the comics, like 60 of them.
See, I need to read
them. Or 40. Like 30? Maybe 30.
Mm-hmm.
I think 30 is around the thing, and like they are very vivid. And I learned a lot that I wouldn't have saw on AMC. Let's just say that. Like, this is not ready for cable.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff. But is there anything that the critics hated that you liked? Or... Because I know there's movies where I, like, watch something... And it's even vice versa, where I'll watch something and I'm like, oh, this movie is garbage. And then I'll look over at the critics and they're just like, 80%. Yeah, this is all good. Yeah. And you're just like, no, this was not good. This was a generic Rush Hour. Why are you saying this is good?
I mean, there's a few. I mean, but the movie's still bad. But me and my friends love it just because of some of the quotes in it, besides Geely. That was a horrible movie, but we love it. Yeah, you never watched it?
With Ben Affleck?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
It's horrible, and critics slammed it, but it's a diamond in the rough, in my opinion.
Mm. It's really tough with that one because I remember growing up, and it was out, and I think I was too young to see it. And then as I got older, I mean, like, Hollywood just pumps out movies.
Yeah.
Like, on top of you. So if you're, like, you have to really go back and out of your way to be like, oh, I want to watch. Like, that's why had a huge bump in the road with my John Carpenter movie thing. Like, oh my gosh, it's too much. It's too much noise on the left, and then you're trying to go back to the right to watch movies, and it's like, oh my gosh. I can't think of an actual, like, besides Iron Fist. I mean, there's tons of movies that are just like,
oh, Vanilla Sky. I really, really like Vanilla Sky.
See, everybody likes Vanilla Sky.
Did you see it?
I saw it and fell asleep into it.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I share a fear of Tom Cruise's character. Like, at one point, what stuck with me was one point where he, like, after he had the accident and stuff and he got repaired back and he was, like, fine.
Yeah.
But he woke up in the middle of the night, he woke up and he thought his face was messed up again.
Yeah.
That was me after my wisdom teeth were taken out.
Oh, my God. Really? You compared that?
Yeah. My face was so chubby and I was like, oh, I look like Ben Roethlisberger. And then I was like, and it stayed there for like a couple weeks. And I'm like, I'm going to look like Ben Roethlisberger for the rest of my life.
Wait, for a couple weeks you were like that?
It was going down slowly. So it might have been like 2 weeks, but it was like going down super slow that I was like,
Did they not give you steroids?
No.
No,
I don't juice. This is all natural.
Okay, first... no comment. But no, it's... steroids also helps reduce puffiness.
I don't know what I don't think I took anything. I might have. I don't remember. But at one point, I just remember it was like finally going down, and I accidentally like pushed on my thing.
Oh my god!
And my one side puffed out again. And I was just like, oh no, I'm going to be half of Ben Roethlisberger's face. And I was like, I was living a nightmare. I would wake up in the middle of the night after it finally all went down and I was like healed. I still woke up in the middle of the night, like having to turn on the light and look at my face and be like, oh my gosh, is this good? Am I good? I'm not trying to be shallow. I might sound shallow, but...
Just a little. Just a little.
It's a real fear.
They're going to have a puffy face.
Like, I grew up... And I finally am okay with what I was given. And if anything changes, I'm going to be detrimental. Like, if I lose, like, even a nail, like, it's over. Like, I'm going to
Really?
I'm going to have a little breakdown.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my gosh. We just went off a huge tirade.
See, we promised ourselves not to get off topic. And now we're talking about Andrew losing a nail and him freaking out.
Oh, my gosh.
I knew it was going to happen.
But, I mean, it kind of goes with it. Like,
critics?
Stephen King scares you. And
you losing a nail?
Yeah. Steve Perry. We got to work on this.
Yeah, just a little. I
mean, this is only our second time.
I was going to say, this is our second time.
This is only our second time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got time
if this was like our 30th and we did this, you know.
Yeah, we're probably going to still do it. On our 30th, just, like, go way off topic. But anyways, nobody really looks at reviews anymore. Like, the one thing, one place that brought it up was a gaming channel was talking about Iron Fist, but then they brought it back to gaming and how nobody looks at game scores anymore.
That's true.
Like, that was people's livelihoods. When I was growing up, IGN was, like, the hub of, like, where you go. What's the IGN score? What's this score? Nowadays, people, like, they make their own decisions. And they're just like, oh. Or they'll go on YouTube and watch gameplay of, say, Rooster Teeth or Achievement Hunter or even PewDiePie. And, yeah. They'll just watch gameplay and they'll be like, oh, this is fun. He looks like he's having fun. I'm going to go.
Exactly. It's like a new breed of critics, which are just basically your peers, in a sense, versus paid professionals. That is a good point. I didn't think about that. That's like a word of mouth. Yeah. Like a reference from a friend. Because, I watch this one channel every day, basically, and it's like, if they say something or play a cool game, I'm just like, oh, yeah, I've heard this from... And you consider them a part of... as friends, almost. Oh, yeah, that in a sense. Sounds really sad. These are my only friends. And they don't know I exist. Okay, that's really sad. You're just, like, sitting there on your iPad, just, like, touching the screen slowly, like, sliding your hand down the screen, just going, like, I love you, friends, like...
comment, "You saved me from a terrible day today."
But isn't that what we want with our listeners? Kind of, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
nice to have one.
I mean, you're all my friends, Mom. You're my friend.
Your mom's gonna love that, by the way, when she listens to this.
No, if she makes it all the way through.
No, she's probably gonna stop at one point. She's like, "You guys are ridiculous."
I just can't follow it.
Exactly.
And I don't blame her. Like, we got on, like, we talked about critics, and then we went to Vanilla Sky, and then my teeth.
Okay, Vanilla Sky was on topic. You went, like, completely, like, right.
I mean, I was on topic for Vanilla Sky.
For a hot second.
This is really difficult.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I just think critics don't have their... I think they're... Another point... From a guy that used to work at IGN, he said that a lot of these critics need clickbait kind of things.
Yeah.
And if they're kissing somebody's butt, like, nobody's gonna really read that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, granted, they should read it, but if somebody is like, "Oh, I really like this because of A, B, and C," they're just gonna see, "Oh, I really like this," and then they're gonna be like, "Oh," they're just gonna pander to this thing. Click off. Instead of saying, Iron Fist is the disaster of Netflix, Marvel, cinematic universe. People are going to be like, "Oh, why?" And they'll keep on reading, and they'll be like, "Oh." So that's what I think. I think but that's not good, because now they're doing just clickbait. Maybe they like it, but they get paid for so much views and clicks, they need it.
No, I agree.
Which, that's not good. That's fake news. That's fake news, everybody. It's fake news, and you do not need that. But that brings us to a point of just try it out for yourself.
Exactly. Basically. I mean, you can take in consideration what someone else says, but you should make your own opinion.
Yeah.
Bottom line. And
I've learned very recently that you can turn off a movie. I know that seems weird to say, but at one point I used to be like, "Oh, we started it, we have to finish it." And it was very recently when I moved in with my uncle. We were trying to find a movie, and he was like, "Oh, let's watch this," and I was just like, "I don't know if it looks good," and he was just like, "Oh, well, we'll give it 20 minutes, and if it's not good, we'll just turn it off." And I was like, "Oh, that seems very simple," and it's a good point. Except I watched all of Exposed, and that was just horrible. Exposed is a Keanu Reeves movie.
That one.
Basically, this indie film director made a movie. I think yeah, there it is.
Oh, so it's a recent one.
Yeah, he made a movie, right?
Yeah.
He made a full-length movie about this girl. She had a troubled past, and it's her getting revenge on the person that did her wrong. The studio bought the movie and said it doesn't have enough star power in it. So they made the guy they hired Keanu Reeves, and then they shot a whole other movie, and they basically just tried to splice it and then just put it together and just mash it together.
What?
And the movie did not make a single bit of sense. Me and my uncle watched the whole thing, and we were just like, "What is going on?" And it was so bad. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
I was just going off of the picture from the movie. That looks so bad. Well, I had to shut it down.
Yeah. No, it's bad. It's super bad. But maybe critics said they liked it. I didn't know. I didn't need to see the Rotten Tomatoes score. I watched it, and I was like, "That's it." And I had to look up what the movie was about.
Really? Because you couldn't even follow it.
3/4 of the movie was done. I was like, I gotta look it up, and I just read how the guy was just like, "This isn't what I wanted. I made the movie I wanted," and then the studio bought it and said, "This is not what we're doing. We need more star power," which in itself is what destroys movies, I think.
Exactly.
I don't think it's Rotten Tomatoes critic scores that ruin movies. I think it's the studio heads that decide to put their own place into it. I think that's what really ultimately killed Suicide Squad. There's too many hands in the cookie jar.
I had so much faith in that movie. So much faith.
I think we all did. But, I mean, they had 3 edits done. They made 3 edits, and then they chose the trailer house. So, It was just, it's like, why?
Yeah, because
just let it happen.
Certain things I'm like, wait, that's not in the movie. That's the part I was looking for. Okay, this doesn't make sense now. Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Sometimes with these superhero movies, you just gotta like maybe put up your hands and just say, you just do it. Just go ahead. You do it. We'll look at it.
Yeah.
And we'll make sure that it's not like gratuitous in any certain manner. But I mean, I think that's what's happening with Ben Affleck's standalone Batman movie. He doesn't even want anything to do with it after this. He's just like, he like, it's so bad. He's like, I don't even know if I want to be Batman anymore.
That's horrible. That after you're like, okay, I'm one and done.
And he's known to be. I mean, doesn't he have a Oscar for being a director for Argo? Not Fargo. Argo.
Fargo's a good movie though. Yes, I believe he does. Did they get for the movie or for director?
I think maybe movie.
I think
but still, that's still fantastic for a movie that he directed. Did he write it or did he just direct it and produce it? I know he starred in it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with a guy that has all these critiques and people, it's like, why are you going to sit there and try to like, oh, no, you should do it like this? It's like, I've done this before.
Yeah.
This is a paint-by-numbers superhero movie. Like, I think I got it. And it's like, no, no, I get it, but put that over there.
Exactly.
Make sure you put this in. And it's like, I already had that in. Like, stop. Just let me do it.
And I think that's why it loses value, especially if it's based off a book or a comic book or something like that, that they don't, like these producers or whatnot, or film heads, they don't know the content of it. They don't know the fan base and what they expect of it.
Yeah. And then they also try to bribe, I've heard they bribe critics into giving better reviews. Like, they'll give them, like, gift baskets or something. So, I mean, it's easily swayed, I think. I mean, not all of them take it, but, I mean, even if a portion of them take it, that's more on the Rotten Tomatoes score if they give it 100 or 80 or something, and it's not really good. I mean, I don't know. I think everybody could just be their own critic.
Exactly.
Like we're all different. We're all different people, and we all like different movies. Like,
exactly.
Like, why is Sally Ann in Wisconsin, who writes for Go Film Magazine, why does she have a better depiction of the movie than, say, me? Like, she doesn't know what I like. Like, I don't care about cinematography and all this other stuff.
Oh.
I mean, that should be on the person making the film, and if they make it the way they want to make it, I should just be like, oh, okay. I'm going to go watch it. And then it's like, all right, that was a good movie. Or I'm going to be like, it didn't really make sense. I don't really like it.
Well, I think everybody's perspective, too, because, again, like you said, for a certain film, if they like something like with the cinematography, they're going to focus on that. Or somebody goes in for, like, Get Out, where some people decide to laugh at certain parts, and you're like, why?
Yeah.
But yet, you laugh at other parts that they didn't. So...
Yeah.
I get it, just perspective.
Yeah. I think it's just different. I mean, I think realistically, I get the whole thing with the Rotten Tomato meter or whatever. I think it's useless. Just get rid of it. Do the audience thing. Let audience members just be like, yeah, I liked it.
Like an open forum, just go ahead and...
Well, I mean, they have the tomato meter, and they have the audience score.
Oh, okay.
Like right next door, right next to it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's like, I would just rather go on the audience. Maybe the audience would like it. But I've been on Reddit, where people give their actual detailed thing on the movie threads. And there's tons of people that are just like, oh, I really like this movie because of this. And then there's a reply right underneath it going like, really? Because I didn't like this part of it and all this other stuff. And it's like, and I mean, it just shows how diverse people are, that they might like it and they might not like it. But I think I also think critics are nervous because they know they could be out of a job like that.
Oh, true.
Like, especially written critics. Like, YouTube is just flushed with...
Oh my god, there's so many critics.
With so many movie review videos and all this other stuff. People posting up in their room, just like, turn on an iPod Touch and make a video of you saying something for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And you can get I mean, they can get more views in an hour than, say, a written critic's comments.
No, I agree.
So,
because again, it's kind of been pushed to the right where everybody's on YouTube. Everybody wants a visual, or hearing of what people are saying versus reading.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I think they're slowly losing it, and I don't think the YouTube ones, like movie critics, are gonna hold out too much longer too. I mean, once people really figure out, like, oh, I like this actor, I like this director, they're in a movie, they're doing a movie together, I'm gonna go watch it.
I mean, I've done that before. Anything Christian Bale, hands down, I'm gonna go see. Doesn't matter if it's crap.
Yeah. So I mean, I think people are. And I haven't really met a single person that takes the critic score super like personal and it's like, yeah, oh, this only got 17%. I'm not gonna go see it because of this. It's like, no, they're just like, oh, I like Ryan Reynolds and I like Jake Gyllenhaal, and I like science fiction movies.
There you go.
Like my friend. I mean, he went to go see Life last weekend because he really likes Alien. It looks kind of like Alien.
Yeah.
And it has Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds, two really good actors, and he's just like, oh, I want to go see Life. When he had other options to see that were scored probably better, like Beauty and the Beast or King Kong or something else, he was like, oh, I want to go see Life. And it's like, yeah, why not just go see what you want to go see and not really care? Like, I don't know.
Basically, overall, it feels like critics are kind of a dying breed in a sense.
I do think so. Even though I make reviews on my website.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But luckily nobody reads them anyways.
Well, what's your website again, if you want to promote?
It's just my name, .com, DrewAngelman.com. But yeah, I just think they're nervous.
Yeah.
I think they're nervous, and they don't really, and a lot of people still don't understand what YouTube is. They don't understand it. They don't get why everybody's drawn to it. Why would they want to see somebody in their room talking about a movie when they could go to a very well-published magazine website and watch somebody who's credited talk about a movie and who gets paid to do this for a living instead of a kid that goes to a 40-hour-a-week job, comes home and makes YouTube videos in his room for 2 hours, edits, and then puts it up on YouTube. So I just think they're nervous, and I think they should be. I think it's over.
It's just over.
I think it's over.
That's it.
I think people are gonna soon realize that they don't need it. Like, why not? I heard bad things. Like, I've seen on Reddit where people are like, I've heard this is bad, but I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And they still watch it. Or they're like, oh, I heard good things. I watched it, and I don't really care about it. And then you'll get the person that hates everything and the person that loves everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, we're all different. Like, why don't we just try to watch the movies, and then if you don't like it, whatever. Give it 20 minutes, then turn it off.
Everybody's going to do the 20-minute method.
But yeah, so, all right.
Yeah.
I think we're good. I think we went over a little bit.
Really?
Than what we wanted to do.
Seems like we talked a lot today, and it felt like more versus not yesterday, but last week.
Yeah, last week. Yeah, it was...
Last week went by fast.
It did. I think it was because of the atmosphere.
Maybe.
I think it was maybe the atmosphere.
Versus here.
Yeah. This was way better doing it here. I feel much calmer. But yeah, that's episode 2 of Tell Me Are You Not Entertained? Tell Me Are You Not Entertained, or Tell Me RUNE, as we're known on Twitter at Tell Me RUNE, YouTube at Tell Me RUNE channel, and SoundCloud. You can see us at Tell Me RUNE Podcast. Yeah, that's it. So, until next time.
Bye.
All right.